Welcome to the Modern Outdoor Dynamics Podcast, the official podcast of Mod Outdoors. Now, for your two hosts, Hunter Perrock and Levi Virgili.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Mod 3 of the Modern Outdoor Dynamics Podcast. I'm your host here, Hunter Perrock, alongside with Levi Virgili today. And what do we got on the schedule for today, man?
We are going to be talking about a little bit of summer scouting.
Summer scouting. My love-hate relationship with summer scouting.
Very daunting.
Yeah, a lot of the times when you think about, scouting for whitetails or whitetail hunting, it's one of those, cool and crisp fall mornings, but, it is middle of July right now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to waste this time before it really gets busy.
I know. I mean, I'm on that balance between it's the off season, I'm dying to get out there in the woods, versus I do not want to go out there in that thick brush, in that heat, with all the bugs. It is such a love-hate relationship, man.
I think we got a little bit of insight that we can share with everybody and really just kind of go over some of the benefits and some of the things to watch out for.
Yeah, man. There's always something you can do to maximize your efficiency. Use every little bit of time. I mean, for us, there really is no off season. This is a year-round thing, and we got to just do what we can every single second that we got.
Yeah, I got to definitely get out there as often as we can. It's kind of tough to really just give up that extra time.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's one of the first things you do, man, whenever you're thinking about looking at a new area for this coming season?
So most of the time I go to old trusty Onyx hunt, and I start looking for topographic features, looking at water sources, things like that, kind of figuring out where do I have for early season along with where do I have for late season.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of, bouncing between those, figuring out what would this spot look good for. Late season, I really like hunting topo, hillsides, different features like that. Early season, I'm mostly looking for food and bedding.
Food and bedding. Bedding's a year-round thing for me. I love getting around that bedding. If I've learned anything, from my experiences, some of the old-timers, don't get in there, don't kick them out, but figure out how they're moving around in that bedding and just working up on them, and that's how you make stuff happen. I think I said it in the last episode. You could give me the best food plot in the world, or just your average bedding. I'm gonna pick the bedding. I've made it happen a lot of times in the bedding. If it's not early season, and I'm not hunting over some ag or something like that, which is honestly how I grew up bow hunting, I'm getting into the thick stuff. I'm figuring out what time are they going to be coming through here, what time are they going to be looking to get some grub or start chasing the ladies, and in my experience, that's how you make it happen.
Yeah, early season, late season, there's always potential in and around bedding. The bugs are usually coming after me pretty often. What are some of the tips that you can share with us? I know you did mention that there was maybe something.
I just came into this. I was out hanging cameras with my buddy Bob, my real estate agent, and same thing as always. I'm getting tore up from the floor up with bugs. I mean, they are just jackhammering me. It's terrible. I'm swatting them off me like crazy. I turn around, he's just standing there waiting for me. I'm like, aren't these bugs just mangling you? He said, no, they never bother me. I'm thinking, why? And I mean, a long time ago, I learned that it has something to do with your blood type. You give off certain pheromones, you'll attract more insects, mosquitoes, gnats. And I mean, I'm truthfully, I don't know what my blood type is, but I'm pretty sure it's that one. It's the one that they like. But I asked him, I said, do you have some kind of secret? Why are they just ignoring you and coming after me when you're standing 5 feet from me? He says, it's simple. I take vitamin B1.
So what is this vitamin B1? What are some of the benefits? Where do you get it? What are the forms?
Truthfully,
I want to know all about it.
I don't know. I'm sure you could get it in a gummy. This is all new to me. I did do a little bit of research on it. And most of the stuff that I heard back reported that it's a myth, that it doesn't actually work. But I will tell you this, I saw firsthand, Mr. Vitamin B1 was standing right there in front of me with not a single insect in his vicinity, and I am just getting chewed up. They were mowing down on me, dude.
Well, I guess you're going to have to get some and give us a first-hand account, because you are tasty fella in the eyes of the bugs. If there's bugs in the woods, they're near you.
Yeah, dude, they just love me. Oh.
So maybe at a later date after you start taking some of this stuff, we'll do a little circle back and kind of see how you're doing mid-season or something.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try it. What do I have to lose? But he said it's not an overnight fix. It takes a while to bake its way into your system, I suppose. And hopefully once it's there, it's there. But we're gonna try it, give it a shot. Other than that, I'm just kind of relying on the old bug spray and the face mask. I was out setting cameras just last week, had my mosquito head net with me, and I'm thinking to myself, if I didn't bring this, I would just be dying.
I was sitting in New Mexico and I was like, who's this fool in front of my trail camera? And then I realized it's Hunter.
Who's this guy with a bag on his head walking by?
I thought you were lost or something. I was getting really concerned, and then I realized, oh, Hunter's just out hanging some cams.
Oh, jeez. That's great. It did its job. It protected my face, but oh man, my arms got so tore up still. One of the biggest obstacles, other than the dang mosquitoes, I mean, it's the obvious one, it's the heat. Dude, you're going to get out there in some sweltering heat, especially if you have a drive. Like, we hunt a lot of central PA. We don't live in central PA. It takes us an hour or more to get to some of our spots. And I mean, by the time we get there, it's usually 8, 9, 10 o'clock. Guess what? It's like 85, pushing 90 degrees in the heat index by then. Yeah. I mean,
as soon as you hit that about 11 o'clock hour, that's when the main heat's going to start, and it's just going to get worse till the end of the day. And even at the end of the day, everything's already heated up so much, it's brutal. Exactly. And you're hiking through some really thick stuff usually, especially that early season. Got to combat a lot of things. That heat is definitely brutal. Packing the water in is definitely adding some weight to you. Yeah. Then you're drinking it down, trying to drop some weight, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I shouldn't have drank that so fast.
I tell you what, you turned me onto a couple of things last year that I really liked. I liked the Camelback. I never carried a Camelback with me before, but I started carrying, the big water sack.
Yeah, 3 liters.
Yeah.
All in glory. Mm-hmm. I mean, those things are just woof.
Those and those ice cube trays.
Yep, the big square ice cubes.
The big like whiskey ice cubes. Those are great. You pack some of those in there, they last most of the day. By the time you're rolling out of the woods is when the last one's just about done.
Yeah, you get a nice cool chill on your back too.
Yeah, that's definitely
super nice.
That has to help regulate a little bit of body temperature. Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely got to have the water, got to have the snacks, got to keep something going because it gets hot and all of a sudden you're out there, you have a headache.
That's happened to me. That has happened to me. Just last week or the week before when I was out with Bob. Bob had to take off a little early. I still had a couple cams left to get up. And I mean, keep in mind, it's not just walking up to a tree, throwing a strap around it and turning it on. We're packing our XOP X2 climbing stick out there with an 8er, and we're putting our cameras up with the lock boxes. We're locking them up, and then we got to run that long range antenna up the tree because we're hunting in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, each camera, I mean, I'm not kidding, it takes between 45 minutes and an hour to set, depending on what kind of walk you have to it. So, I mean, you plan on the better part of a day, you're going to get like 5 cameras up.
Yeah, easily. It's nice when we both go out. One of us can work on the cam, the other guy can get up the tree, go up and put those little lassos with that. I believe that's what a trucker knot that we use on those. Yeah. That's really nice.
Yep, just a quick tie around the tree to get that antenna up there.
Yeah,
but,
super adjustable.
Yeah, so I was out with Bob, and I still had 2 more cameras to hang, and I started back up into the woods, and I got the first one done, and I just took the second one down. I had to move one, and it kind of hit me. I said, I didn't plan on being out here that long. I was out there a little longer than I thought. I only brought a bottle of water that morning. It was kind of cool, but it heated up fast. And my water was gone. And I realized I am about 1,200 yards from the truck. And I'm starting to get... Ew. I said, I got to get out of here. So I didn't end up putting my last camera up, man. I just hoofed it out of there. I stayed out of that big opening we walked through because the sun was just beating down on it. I hugged the wood line, got out of there, and oh, man. I remember that day. As soon as I got back, I started my car from across the river, and I got it nice and cool before I got in it. And I remember because that was the same day you were coming out. You were going into the woods as I was leaving. I called you and said, "Turn around. It is so hot. It's miserable. It's dangerous."
Yeah, that was a hot day.
Yeah, you went out there anyway.
I luckily had lighter pants with me, 6 cameras, hiked out, dropped them off, did a little hike, and I found a really cool spot. I don't know how we walked past it. I mean, hundreds of times.
Yep.
I think that's going to produce really well late season.
You showed me that. It's cool.
It looks very, very interesting, so I'm super excited about that. But got all those out. Had that bear run about 150 yards away from me while I was setting a cam.
Did you see it or no?
No, I didn't
Okay.
see it. I
You
was
just
just
saw it on the
down
camera.
over a little bit because there's kind of like a little bench up there on that knob.
Yep.
Just barely missed him, but I did see that little buck come up actually right in front of where I was about to put a camera, but was looking for somewhere to put my rope and mock scrape. So bypassed that spot and circled back after I saw him come up through.
That's cool that we're seeing some action out there already. And I'm not, I'll say this. I'm not upset that none of our shooters last year have showed up on camera yet. And it's because I know that they're not there right now.
I think they're in that corn.
They're in that corn. They're in those ag fields a half a mile away, 2 miles away. They're going to push down into these bottoms once, September, October rolls around.
Exactly. I think most of my stuff, at least that I've put out to this point, I only have about a quarter of my cameras out. If even that, I probably even have more than that to put out because I got to get some of those manuals that I'm going to throw up. So
That's true. Those
still got to get some of those guys.
New Spy Point Force 24s.
Yeah, I'm pumped. Those things are awesome.
Dude, I ran one for a little bit. I checked it. It's pretty sweet, man. I like running the thing on hybrid mode.
Yeah, I want to get some videos this year. Yeah. Definitely didn't do that a lot last year just because I was worried about how much do I have to send over the cell network. We're running a lot of cameras in a really bad area with those antennas. I don't know is there a limit to how much can come across that network?
Yeah, we were figuring it out last year. Now that we got the hang of it, we're really going to dial in, get some much better content, I think.
Yeah, we got a lot of bears this year so far. Dude. There's so many bears.
Don't get me started. I do not like getting bears on camera. I lost track. I have lost so many cameras to bears. I think last year I probably lost 6 cameras to bears. Dude, it's terrible. Half of them were here in my local spots, not far from where we live. And I had a couple cameras go down to bears there. That camera right over the ridge from where we got the bull on camera last year. That one was ripped off of a tree after a week, and it just laid on the ground for half the season. Thankfully, we lock our cameras. Everything that we have on public land, it gets a cable lock. So it didn't go too far, but, oh man, that bear did not want that camera on that tree.
They just don't like them. I got that one on that solar camera I put up on that mock scrape, and that guy was like hugging that scrape rope.
Oh, he was ripping on it.
I don't know what happened, but it's still up somehow.
I didn't tell you. He left that one, went down to mine, and ripped mine down.
Oh, he ripped yours down.
I got out there, my rope's laying on the ground.
I can give up a rope. I did not want to give up that camera. I was just glad when I saw that it came through. I was like, okay, he was there a couple hours ago. Camera still sent. Camera at least survived it long enough to send.
Yeah.
So then got some other pictures, and I'm like, okay, hey, we're still in business. He didn't mess with it. He's a pretty big bear, but that other one is really big.
Yeah, he's a mature bear. Dude, I want you to kill that bear this year. You're going to get him.
Know.
You're getting him. He is in there. He's in there a lot. I mean, we are already getting him on camera. I think we could figure him out by bear season.
Oh, we could definitely figure him out. We just gotta hope that those guys don't come through trying to put a drive on in the middle of archery season. It's part of the challenge that you kind of take on going to public land. I don't knock anything about private. I grew up hunting private, and now we're hunting mostly public land, and it's definitely an addition to the challenge. There's a challenge, but I think it's a different challenge on private.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that we really tried to grasp and harness early was, there might be some obvious spots, like there's a draw leading right out into some ag, or there's a really cool looking saddle that looks like is a perfect passageway for whitetails. It looks like they'll cruise all through it during the rut. Well, guess what? It's 200 or 300 yards off the road right next to the parking lot, a slight downhill walk. Guess what? Everyone's going to want to go there.
Exactly. If it's an obvious spot,
We're
that's
out.
where people are going to go. We're going deep.
Yeah.
We want to get away from the people and really try to push ourselves a little bit extra.
Yep. Go deep. Just go further than anyone else. We tried crossing water. We tried getting past the thick stuff, walking through the swamps. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of people that are just like us. They're just as resilient. You know, they are just as determined to get in there and kill a mature whitetail.
Yeah,
So,
I think last year was the first time I ever carried waders when I went archery hunting.
Yep. Same here. I've never done that before.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Definitely I want to try to get out by boat some point. I think that would be really interesting.
If only I knew someone that had a really cool hunting boat.
Yeah, I wish I knew someone too.
How's that thing coming, man? What's the update on it?
Just went and got a boat blind last night, so hopefully gonna get that thing finished up and finish out the final couple things on the boat and hopefully get out and do some scouting here soon.
Yeah, man, that would be sweet. You'd really be able to get into some uncharted areas with that. That opens up some whole new doors to summer scouting.
Yeah, that's gonna be really nice if we can get that thing out and really get deep in there.
Yeah, maybe push out into the Allegheny National Forest.
That is the hope.
Yeah.
We've been definitely talking about that for a very long period of time now, and
That's where the big ones are.
Yeah, we just haven't really took on that challenge yet. We've been staying busy with all of our other stuff.
Yeah, we really need to start scouting out there. I mean, there's deer out there that have never seen a person, that have never seen a road or a car. I mean, there's going to be some big bucks out that way.
Yeah, if you want to find the big ones, you got to go where other people won't.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the key. I mean, if you're hunting ag, you have a little better potential, but that public land that you cannot go out there and kind of create what you want, you got to go find it.
That's exactly right. I don't think I could have said that better myself. And plus, I mean, even if you are on ag, how long is that going to last you? You know, you got some pretty good early season chances, but you better have a pretty good backup plan whenever, late October, November rolls around and they start chasing.
Yeah, he's going 5 miles and the neighbor's taking him out, and there goes your 2.5 that you were hoping to grow a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, man, I hear a lot of guys saying things like, whenever you scout, look for a spot where you could, play the wind. Pay attention to your thermals. They're gonna rise in the morning. They're gonna fall in the afternoon. I'll be honest, dude. That's probably gonna work if you have tens of thousands of acres and not a lot of other people. If you have some small, tucked away pieces of land, there's a lot of the time you can't play the wind. You have to think, all right, this is my only way to walk in here. There's no other way. It's either you walk in this way or you just don't hunt it. A lot of guys don't have choices. They can't just go out and build the perfect hunting spot. I mean, a lot of the time you just kind of have to work with what you got.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, midday, your thermals are going to swirl.
Dude, where we hunt is a giant bowl. I remember last year we're thinking to ourselves, okay, hopefully the wind stays, a north wind today. And we're dropping our milkweed, and I'm watching it, and it's doing circles around me. It just swirls in there. There is no hunting the wind. There's no playing the wind where we hunt. It's not a thing. And I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to say something that probably not a lot of people would agree with. I don't care. Last year, we took a super serious approach to our scent control. I mean, our scent control practices, I think, are nothing shy of flawless. I never once got busted last year. I never got winded. And it's because I took it really seriously. I don't worry about the wind. I just practice good scent control.
A lot of guys are going to say the absolute opposite of that, and I think there's validity to both statements. I grew up really practicing scent control very, very hard. Don't wear your stuff in the car. Keep it in a box. Keep it out of the house. Keep it away from pets, But this past year, we ran ozone generators. I would go to work, I would put my windows down, and I would run an ozone generator the day before we went hunting. The morning while I was getting packed. Windows down, ozone generator running in the car. I'm using scent-free soap about a month prior to season, all the way through season, and still to this day, actually, I do because we're in the woods so much. I don't want to have any additional scent. You know, I'm not using anything scented. There's no candles lit in my house anytime during scouting or hunting season.
That's right, man. I really couldn't have said it better. I grew up hunting on, my family farm, mostly out of box blinds, and those things hold your scent pretty well. The wind doesn't really blow through much. Take your scent out of there. I can't really think of many or any times I've been winded out of those. And I mean, thinking maybe 4 or 5 years back, my first time, really starting to bow hunt up here, not back home, hunting out of, hang-ons on public land. I mean, it was like getting hit by a truck. I got winded every single hunt. I wouldn't even see the deer, but I would hear one blowing 200 yards away because, well, guess where the wind is? So I realized right away something's got to change. I tried to get a little bit better the next year. I did all right. I tried to, really start spraying down my gear, my clothes. Still getting winded here and there. And, this year, whenever you moved up here and we really started hunting hard, that's when, we took that jump, started ozone and everything. All my gear lives in totes. My car is scent free. My house is scent free. Like you said, there's no candles. God bless my girlfriend. There's no perfume throughout the house, and oh man, it's a hunter's dream.
Yeah, you got to take it serious. If you're going and taking all those steps, you can't throw away any of that extra work.
Exactly. Everything down to the hand soap at my kitchen sink, scent free. Absolutely everything. Deodorant, body wash, shampoo, everything is scent free. And I tell you what, it works well.
You have to really just capitalize on that stuff. Like you said, you're hunting spots where you can't control the wind, you can't control the thermals. We're hunting a big bowl, the wind's just going to swirl. Also, it's a bowl. So what are you? You're a lower elevation, and you have a creek running through there. So that's going to change the thermals. Some of those draws have water running through them.
I just got to say, once we really stepped up our scent control game, I didn't have to worry about things like the wind. I don't have to worry about things like thermals. My confidence is sky high. I tell you what, last year kind of opened my eyes. We found that nice little saddle in there, kind of between the base of that hill and those fields. I had pretty high hopes for that. And early season, maybe like early August, we had some bucks coming through there.
Yeah, it produced very, very well. That's, I think, where we got the first picture of the bull.
It is. And then I started hunting it, early bow season, early October, and I think I saw one deer. So I guess my message there is, we got out, we saw some areas that looked really good in the summer. We tried them out. They turned out to be kind of junk. It just did not produce well, into season. I ended up moving back and, really figuring out how those deer were traveling, got between kind of their exit route and the bedding. I mean, it was game on from there. So, if you find a place that you think is going to be great, just be prepared to be wrong.
Yeah, sometimes it changes. My early season was absolutely terrible. I mean, I think I saw maybe one deer a day if I was lucky.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, the rut came. And boom, I was seeing deer after deer. I was watching bucks chase does. I was watching multiple different bucks come through the area. They're grunting. They're running. I mean, it just dramatically changed over the course of a couple weeks. And it's because of the time of year.
Yeah. What is something that you and I both did throughout the season that really helped us land on those bucks?
We went mobile hunted.
We stayed mobile. We kept moving. We don't lock ourselves down to a tree. We don't marry a spot. Well, I am going to marry that one spot. It turned out to be really good. But that's for late season. You only find those places by staying mobile. So don't be afraid to move around, and that's why we jumped into that XOP gear. It's so light. It's nothing to take it out with you, take it back, put it up, take it back down, move it 100 yards. If you see those bucks are running in the thickets behind you, go over and get on the edge of it. Don't just sit out there in no man's land and say, woe is me, hopefully someone comes by.
I had that saddle up that I put up the one morning, hunted out of it, and saw a bunch of deer moving up ahead of me, so I took my climber out there, and I still took my saddle with me, and it stayed in my pack. I was like, you know what? There's a potential that I might turn around.
Wait a minute. You took a climber and a saddle on the same hunt?
100%.
I didn't know you did that.
I left my saddle up
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
I said, you know what, midday, if there's something, for some reason, there's deer moving back behind me, I'm going to go jump in that saddle because I did pass a buck in that saddle. So I said, well, I'm going to take both out. Ended up leaving the climber out there after that night and went out the next day with 2 options, both mobile. And I ended up hunting the climber. And after I took that doe, I took both of them down, carried them out.
Nice. I got you, man. Oh, yeah. Man, you're going mobile to the next level.
Yeah, you got to have options.
Super mobile. I'll tell you what, man, speaking of mobile hunting, I am beyond excited to try out that new lightweight XOP climber, the Revolt.
Yeah, that thing is light. It looks
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you showed it to me, and I was a little bit hesitant. After I put it in my hands, whole new respect for it. That thing is awesome.
Dude, I picked that thing up, and I'm like, wow. Like, where's the rest of it? Why does this weigh like nothing? It's so light. And then I put it up on the tree, and I mean, I was just wow all over again. I mean, you get a lot of platform for that little weight.
Yeah, it's very thin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty excited for that. I should be able to pack that thing out pretty easy. I mean, it's, 10 pounds lighter than the climber we were carrying?
Yes.
That's insane. To shed 10 pounds? I mean, there's the guys out there trying to shed 1/4 of an ounce. We just shed 10 pounds.
I think what sold it for me was the new locking system.
That is quick and easy. It's seamless. Just rapid adjustment. The other one wasn't bad, but it took a while to adjust. So
I think what sells those climbers to me is the summits are comfy. They're light. But you sit down in kind of a hammock style.
yeah,
These, perfectly flat.
yeah.
I love that.
They're
You're
very
sitting
rigid.
there, right there to the side, perfectly flush with the top, and you're not kind of sitting down in. The summits, I almost feel like I'm sitting down in a little bit, and a lot of climbers are like that. I don't really know too many others aside from XOP and a couple of those other performance brands that really have a nice flat surface.
Yeah,
I really like that. It keeps you higher.
And one thing that I was hesitant, I wasn't sure about switching over to the hand climber. I've only ever done sit and climbs, and sit and climb, it's pretty easy to use. It's pretty self-explanatory. You sit on the bar and you climb. And with a hand climber, there is no bar. You don't sit on anything. You just kind of support yourself with your hands. You kind of lean into it, put your weight on it the best you can. And I was hesitant. I wasn't sure. I'm like, oh, geez, I'm going to get out there at 5 a.m. It's going to be pitch black. Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be all tired from walking? Threw it on a tree in my backyard. I flew right up it. I'm like, this is so easy. I am so glad I went with this. I mean, I really don't need that bar there. I'm not going to miss it. I'm actually heading out tomorrow. I got my alarm set for 4:15 in the morning. I'm going to get out there at the break of dawn and just get as much in as I can before the heat really starts to kick up. I'm going to run over. I got a couple antennas to replace, and after that, I'm going to jump up on that hillside that we're looking at and get an idea of what I'm going to be getting into over there if we want to try out that other side. One thing I've been thinking about a lot lately, a lot of guys, they'll find a big, heavy, beat down trail, call it a highway. Oh man, look at all these deer tracks here. Oh, that's good. You got deer coming in. That it's active. You'll see something there. One thing I've come to learn though, a lot of the times, that trail is just run by the same two doe every single day, and they just beat it down. It's not using that trail. Big bucks. Absolutely not.
Yeah, usually those big highways are kind of out in the open. They're in the bottom of, base of a hillside, somewhere that is just kind of out there, and usually you stumble upon it when you're just walking through the open woods.
Exactly. They're in obvious areas.
You spot it, and you're like, hey, look at that trail. It's deer sign. It's great. You know that there's some type of deer movement, but usually not what we're after. We're usually looking for the lighter trails, different things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Get onto those lighter trails, those ones that are off the beaten path, into the brush a little bit more. That is where those big bucks are going to cruise. I remember hunting the edge of that bedding last year. I could see into it, and there were a lot of bucks cruising the edge. I could see nice racks, just right through the tips of that bedding, and they're just staying right on the inside of it, so they can see out, but nothing can see them. Except me.
Yeah, that early season, they're usually trying to stay tight to the bedding and the food. They're going to be making those short trips. They're not going to be traveling around like crazy.
That's
I
right.
mean, once the rut comes, they're going to move. But the deer that you're targeting in that general area, they might be miles away. You might see
Absolutely.
different deer. You might see those deer, but early season, you want to stay tight to that bedding and food.
That's right. That's right, man. Yeah, I just get a lot less excited now when I see that, beat down trail. I'm like, well, there's some doe here.
Yeah, exactly. Usually, I don't see a lot of great topography around those either.
Yeah, you're right. Look at last year. I went up, I was up on that small hill, and I'm thinking to myself, there's like three trails, like three super heavy trails here. And I was already tagged out with my buck tag. I wanted to kill a doe. I put my stand 15 yards from that. I was barely even in it, and I had three doe walking under me, and my hunt was over. I'll tell you what, man, something else that I specifically don't really look for is water. I don't really look for water that much. I have hunted around creeks and streams, and I mean, deer will just cross pretty much anywhere. There might be a beat down spot where the local doe, likes to cross every morning, and she might wear a path into the bank, and you might say, "Oh, this is where they're crossing." I tell you what, that buck's gonna cross absolutely anywhere. Nothing's gonna stop him. Another thing is I wouldn't really rely on water sources, a big creek or a stream, to be like a barrier. Maybe if it's really big, if it's something considerable, like a super wide stream or a small river. But if they could run across it, they're gonna cross it. They're not gonna think twice about it. If there's a doe on the other side that buck wants, he's gonna go get that doe. He's not gonna care about any water. So I don't really stay away from water. I don't really veer towards water. One thing that I can say that I've seen, you would think that a deer, if he wants to go drink some water, you'd think that he'd want to drink out of a stream, a creek, running water. It's a lot cleaner. I have not seen a lot of deer drink running water. It's always from a puddle or a pond, some sort of stagnant water, and that blows my mind. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I think that's where the kind of big push for the watering holes is.
Yeah.
Where everyone's starting to put in, stagnant water sources. For some reason, I've heard a lot of guys talk about it. I've yet to hunt one, but a lot of guys talk and say that's where the deer are going to drink.
Yep.
That's very important early season because it's hot, but also during the rut.
That's true, man. You got to think if those deer are cruising around, they got to be getting thirsty. And I have heard of guys, they put in, I've heard of guys putting in those, decorative pools. I've heard of guys putting in kiddie pools. They go to Dollar General and get themselves a kiddie pool and put it next to their tree stand. I'm like, what are you doing? But they got deer coming in and drinking out of it now.
Yeah,
So,
you might have to try that out on your property.
I'm probably going
Because
to.
hunting public, we can't do that. You might have to try and, put a couple water sources out there and just kind of see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll have to give that a shot. There's an old beaver dam on the property, and it's kind of gone by the wayside, but you could see where some deer have come down and tried to drink from the remnants of it. There's a couple creeks flowing down over the hill in that property. It'd be super easy to get out there with the backhoe, dig a little hole, and fit one of those ponds into it, one of those plastic liners, and make something happen. I'll tell you what, something else we've really picked up on is what to wear when we're summer scouting. We are not wearing shorts. Oh man, I tell you what, we've seen people on our trail cameras last year. They're out there cruising around in shorts. I'm like, dude, how are you doing that? If that was me, I would be getting smoked by poison ivy. And not only that, dude, what about those other plants, those stinging nettles?
Yeah, those things are brutal.
Oh my gosh, dude.
They look very harmless until
Yeah.
you just run through them.
They look like just any old greenery.
Yeah,
Give us a rundown on these things, man.
through your pants. These
Yeah.
things are going to get you, and you're going to get red. You're going to get irritated. It's going to sting.
Exactly. I mean, they got these little, I almost want to call them barbs. They're like little thin needles on the tips of their leaves, and they poke right through your pants.
And you don't feel them.
No, you don't realize.
You don't notice it until you're red and you're itchy.
Your legs will just become inflamed within a matter of minutes. And I mean, yeah, if you wear something like Carhartt pants or maybe some jeans, probably do all right. That'd probably protect you. But you're summer scouting. You're hiking in the woods when it's 80 degrees. You're not wearing that. You're probably wearing something lightweight, breathable, something that it's going to poke through pretty easy. So, I mean, we've really developed an eye for these things. And I mean, if I tell you what, you should probably look them up. Stay away from them. You know, I don't think they're that bad, but they're just going to poke you on your legs. They're going to scratch you up. We got into some tall ones last year. I remember they were even hitting our arms, like we were trying to keep our arms up, and it's rubbing our elbows.
Yeah, our torsos were getting tore up.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't wear like cutoffs or anything. Definitely t-shirts.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
No cutoffs out there.
Didn't you find some kind of like fix for that though?
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research after we got tore up that day. Cold water definitely helped ease it a little bit. Obviously cold, but I mean, I'm not wasting my water. You can't give up that water out there. So what I found was to find ferns.
Ferns.
For some reason, it seems like the ferns kind of grow like just off to the side of them a little bit.
Then like the same type of habitat.
Yeah, kind of like a low-lying, very damp area.
Okay.
And you can pick these ferns up and you can kind of just rub them onto your arm. It seems like it neutralizes it.
Huh.
It's very interesting. They always seem to grow.
Just provides
in a
that relief.
Very close vicinity. Yes.
Soothing.
Yeah, they're great.
Nice, man. I'll have to remember that if we get stuck with the nettles again. Grab some ferns, rub it in. Sweet. No, that's cool, man. Yeah, I tell you what, we dress light though. You know what's really been nice? Those merino socks, of all things.
Yeah, good footwear, good socks. Good socks makes a big difference. I
Yeah.
mean, even with the most comfortable pair of shoes, you gotta have something that's somewhat breathable that can combat that sweat a little bit because your feet will get raw.
Yeah.
We're always carrying a bottle of Gold Bond as well.
Oh, dude,
I love the Gold Bond.
that cooling powder. That's a must-have. Yeah, that honestly, that's probably one of our biggest summer scouting secrets. Gotta have that cooling powder.
It helps keep you from getting chafed up and keeps you from sweating.
I'll say this. If we were going summer scouting one day and we drove an hour to get there and I left my cooling powder at home, I'm going home. I'm getting my cooling powder and coming back. I would not be able to walk one of our days in the woods. I mean, you and I, we go pretty far. I would not be able to do that without the powder.
Yeah, that's made the difference.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it makes it a lot more manageable on those hot days.
Absolutely. So on those hot days, what are some stuff that you're carrying with you in your backpack, man?
Food and water.
Yeah.
Gotta have that. Usually like to carry my Mountain Ops bars.
The Mountain Ops bars?
Yeah.
Okay.
The chocolate and sea salt, by far my favorite. Definitely, everyone should just check that one out. That one's great.
That's cool, man. I'm going to have to try that out.
So,
you know what's really come to be one of my favorite things to bring with me in the woods when we're summer scouting? Whenever you go to Texas Roadhouse and they give you those bags of peanuts.
yeah, you're always crunching on those things.
Dude,
You always
it's
got
perfect.
a pocket full.
Yeah.
Take them out of the bag and you just fill your pockets like a squirrel.
Yeah, man, that's
It's
the
insane.
way. You know, as you're just rolling around the woods, cracking open peanuts. Never even been really, big into eating peanuts before, but it's just so good. You know, you're out there in the woods, you're just munching on them while you're cruising around. It hits the spot.
Aside from the obvious food and water, what else do you take out with you?
Well, I try to pack light, obviously. My pack's never really all that full. When it gets full is whenever we start getting cams out there. But if we're just scouting, never really go anywhere without that Leatherman P4 multi-tool. That thing, man, we've got our money's worth out of that a few times over. But I'd say other than that, I try to keep a little safety kit, maybe some zip ties, a little roll of tape. But one of the biggest things is not only a flashlight, but a backup flashlight. Yeah, I tell you what, I can remember a time last year when we were out there, we were hanging cameras, and it was starting to get dark, and we said, we only got 2 cameras left. And I tell you what, that last little bit of light, it went fast. By the time we were done with that last camera, it was pitch black. And I mean, you know just as well as anyone, man, when it gets dark in the woods, I mean, your bearings are just gone. Your sense of direction is minimized. Every single direction in the woods looks the same. Thank goodness for Onyx.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing out there.
Yep.
It's a valley. There's trees. There's a stream. Other than that, it's you.
Oh yeah, you're right. And so I remember we kicked our flashlights on, and our goal was to just evac, get back to the truck. So we're cruising through the woods there. We're just trying to get out, and something happened. that stopped us dead in our tracks. I remember it like it was yesterday. We're running through the woods, and right in front of us, maybe 30, 40 yards right in front of us, just barely out of our sight, we heard what we could only imagine was a woman screaming. And I mean, it wasn't just a little holler. It was a, like, just ear-piercing shrill.
It was gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
I get chills thinking about that.
Dude, me too, man. We stopped dead in our tracks. I looked at you, you looked at me, and we both said, "What was that?" I mean, the last thing you're expecting. And I mean, I've heard coyotes before. I've heard foxes and raccoons and all different sorts of birds. It was none of that.
Yeah, and it got that owl fired up too.
That only made it more confusing. Right after we heard this scream, we heard a barred owl go off, start hooting at the exact same location, at the same exact point. And now we're just scared and confused. We're like, what's going on? Did the owl scream? I mean, we know owls they'll let out that like screech, come into fall for mating season, but this wasn't fall yet. This was midsummer.
Yeah, this was a lot higher pitched.
It was
very, very high pitched.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hear it for a ways.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell you what, that really freaked us out. We didn't know what to do other than just get out of there. I mean, it's pitch black. You're in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and you hear someone scream right in front of you that you did not think was there.
Yeah, we were moving very fast. I don't know if we've ever moved that fast through the woods.
We made the decision to not stick around and figure out what made that sound. And, we got back to the truck and just got out of the woods. And I mean, we racked our brains. We could not figure out what we just experienced. I mean, we were talking about everything shy of skinwalkers.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I remember that was a whole consideration even at one point.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're trying to think to ourselves, like, we know it's not that, but do we really know it's not that?
Yeah, what else could it be?
I think it wasn't until a couple days later, I think you figured out what it was, and you sent me this video on YouTube, and it was of the exact same sound. I mean, they were hand in hand identical. And it turned out that it was a bobcat. It was a bobcat screaming. They just do it. That's just something they do from time to time. So yeah, we had a bobcat scream at us at very close range while it's pitch black in the woods. So that was quite the experience. I actually saw that bobcat. I saw it once later on bow hunting. Right there. That actually happened right where I hung that stand and shot that buck. But I saw it one time, and I heard him every night. Every time that I hunted out there, I could hear him. They make this sound. It almost sounds like a coughing noise. I'm not going to try to replicate it. But bottom line, always pack a flash. Can you imagine if we didn't have a flashlight and we heard that?
If we didn't have... The flashlight might have even made it worse because every set of eyes we saw, we stopped.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
we saw like
thinking, we're like, what is this?
We saw a deer and we saw a raccoon, and we're just thinking, what's gonna happen?
And then the little mice, they just come shooting across the tree limbs, and you just see a glimmer of a little something, and it's their eyes, and they're just shooting right across, and you're like, whoa, what was that?
Yep. You're wondering, is that what screamed at me?
Yeah, and they move fast.
Oh, jeez. That was one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me in the woods. I mean, tell you what, on that note, we better wrap it up. Got to get to bed early because, surprise, surprise, I'm going summer scouting in the morning. Going to be getting up at about 4 a.m., maybe 4:30. So
yeah, God bless you. It's going to be a hot one, but alrighty, well, thank you guys for tuning into the Modern Outdoor Dynamics podcast. We will see you guys in 2 weeks.